Joining me now from New York is Jenny Fleiss, co-founder of Rent the Runway. And here in San Francisco is Jessica Mah, CEO of inDinero.com. Now, Jenny, I want to start with you because your company actually targets women consumers. Do you feel that being a woman is an advantage to running Rent the Runway?
Absolutely. We're at a fantastic time in e-commerce where the majority of consumers are women. So running a company where the end user uses our product is a fantastic way to relate to our customer, to think of product evolutions, and to make sure we're always on the ball and thinking about the next step as we evolve the company.
That said, women make up the majority of traffic on e-commerce sites, including Amazon and Walmart. Do you think that if those sites are run by men, that they're at a disadvantage?
I think that there are definitely advantages to being a woman running a site. I mean, there's just a different perspective and way that you can relate to a woman. You know, Rent the Runway, for example, which rents designer dresses, the feeling of putting on a fantastic dress and a gown and how that makes a woman feel is something that I think is much more difficult for a man to grasp, and the emotional connection that goes along with it is really what fuels a business like Rent the Runway. So I think there is definitely a leg up, especially in fashion e-commerce companies, for a woman running a company.
Now, Jessica, you run a company that targets everyone, women and men. And in talking about the lack of women entrepreneurs, you've said in the past it's a distraction. Why do you feel that way?
I think it's a huge distraction because it doesn't really matter. Whether you're male or female doesn't impact your business in most cases.
And yet, if you look at the statistics, women make up half of the workforce, yet only have 25% of jobs in technology. Women founders make up only 8% of tech businesses and only get 5% of capital. Does that concern you?
That doesn't really concern me, and while that may be true in the tech industry, outside of Silicon Valley, a lot of women are entrepreneurs. I know at inDinero, we work with entrepreneurs, and I'd say roughly 40% of them are women-run.
Jenny, why do you think that is? Why more women entrepreneurs outside of technology, but not within, such a fast-growing industry?
Yeah, I think to some women, the technology industry is a little bit daunting. It's something that they're seen as a little bit removed from, and maybe they don't feel they understand it as well. But, at the end of the day, all technology can really be communicated and understood, and it's just getting up that initial learning curve. In general, I think women are often less likely to take risks and less prone towards taking risks. So I know from our venture capital backing partners, they seldom have put money into as many female companies, and it's just really a reality of women not as often stepping forward, asking for things that they want and pitching their concept and really selling what they need to make their business a success. So I think we can encourage women to do that more, and as female-oriented businesses thrive, that's just going to happen more and more.
Jenny, have you ever felt that being a woman was a challenge in this business?
I think that, for us, it's been a real opportunity, to be honest. One reason is because you do relate to the end consumer so well. It's definitely, it feels like you're the minority sometimes. You're in a room amongst 50 men, and you're the only one. But I don't see that as necessarily a challenge or a bad thing. There's often opportunities that come with it. I think one thing that's been great about being a woman is women are often very humble and very self-aware. And I know that myself and my co-founder are very much the first to admit when we don't know the answer to something, when we need to seek help, resources, when we need to hire someone to fill a role that we actually don't have expertise in. So there are many skills that I think women bring to the table which can help them be more and more successful.
Jessica, your thoughts? I mean, being a woman, can it have its challenges and its advantages as well?
I don't think it's a big challenge. I don't think there's any particular advantage. I met a few women who said starting a tech company is a huge problem for them, and they feel like they're being marginalized or other men have a bias against them starting a company. But I think maybe, what if the problem is that they don't have a tech background or they don't know how to build a product that they're trying to pitch? And that's really the source of the problem.
Now, you're just 21 years old, right?
I just turned 21.
Just turned 21. Amazing story. I'm sure you can't see years and years into the future, but do you plan to stay in the role of CEO? A lot of women, what you see in the trends is that they'll be the CEO, they'll found the company, and then they'll take a step back as it gets bigger. What are your plans?
I want to stay CEO.
How about you, Jenny? What are you planning? down the line?
Myself and my co-founder have run the company from day one, and we plan to continue to do so. Again, I think that no one really relates to the end consumer in the way that we do, and this concept itself sprung out of the fact that we saw a problem with our consumer base, and we related to that, and we've been constantly able to evolve it. And I don't think that we could necessarily have done that as effectively if we were men.
All right, Jenny Fleiss of Rent the Runway, Jessica Mah of inDinero. Thanks so much for your thoughts on this. This is a topic that's always fascinated me, and it's great to hear from you entrepreneurs directly.